Hey, fourth graders, Miss Nabowski here. Today in Cubeboarding, you are going to learn to make a nameplate. You're going to begin the process of decorating a nameplate so we can hang it up and that will be your spot to sit in. So when you log onto the computer, you don't have as many fonts as, icons as Miss Nabowski does. But you're going to want to go down to the start button. And then what I want you to do is type in PUB. And then you should come up with publisher. And Miss Nabowski still has the 2013 version. Hopefully this is the same version you have in the computer lab. So all I did was type in pub and I can see publisher. This is a word and you've used this in third grade when you did your invention fair posters. So I'm going to click on that. And then usually you'll get a screen that looks something like this. And I'm just going to use a blank 8.5 by 11. That's a standard piece of paper there. So I'm just going to double click on that. And then I'm going to adjust my screen a little bit so you can see what Miss N's doing here. As you can see up at the top, I have what are called tabs. And what's really cool, it's like tabs of like a notebook, like you cut off certain sections. But basically what you're going to do today is you're just going to work mainly with the home tab. Sometimes you'll work with the insert tab today, page designs. So let's start off first. So now your piece of paper is like this. If you want it to look bigger, you can go to the view tab and you can make it bigger. Well, I could do 800%, but that's way too big. Generally about 50% is about, that way you can kind of scroll in here. You have a scroll bar here or your mouse so you can put things in there. The next thing I want you to do is go to the insert tab. And then we're going to insert a text box. And you see how it changed to a plus? I'm going to make that, I'm going to drag it. Watch how I did that again. Insert text box. As I move my mouse down, it turns into a cross. I'm going to hold it, I'm going to click the left button down, and then I'm going to drag it. And then I'm going to let go when I think I have the size I want, and let go. Okay? I can also make changes that I can make it bigger, smaller, I can stretch it out. If I double click, watch what happens when I double click. You see how it turns into 4 arrows? I'm going to double click on that. Whoops, try it again. Well, I guess 2013 is a little different. What I might want to do too is I go to format. And if you see this pencil with the line here, I can actually change the color. So maybe I want a blue color. So you see how I did that? I clicked on the line, I went to format, and looked at the pencil, and it says shape outline. Well, here's the cool thing. I can also do the drop down, and I can also do the weight. So if I really want a thick line, I can do a thicker line. So I click on the pencil and I did this line, then maybe I want to do a weight. I can also do some crazy dashes. I could even find a pattern, but pretty much just pick a simple square pattern, okay? The next thing you're going to do, so right now we've done insert a text box, then we changed the way the color looked by the outside line color, the outline color. And I can always change that back to say orange, or I could do a really bright color, okay? I can also fill it. So it's like a pail of paint filling it in. So maybe I want to fill it with yellow because maybe I want Green Bay Packer colors. I can also go back and even make my lines even bigger. So I could even put something around it. This is if you really are kind of know what you're doing and you really want to challenge yourself. You could do that too, okay? But maybe I just want to go back to the green, all right? And I always use my arrow keys when I get stuck. All right, so now I've changed the inside. So I've used the outline color, and then I filled it. And once again, do you notice how it changes colors as I scroll over with my mouse? All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to want to do my name. So first, I'm going to type in my name, and you can see that I have the cursor flashing and it looks pretty tiny. So what I can do is I can actually make my font bigger. I can either do the drop down and change it, or I can just click on it and backspace and put something bigger, a bigger number. But as you notice, in Publisher, it doesn't always change right away. Sometimes you have to fix it. I can even do the A with the arrow up, or I can do A with the arrow down, which means to increase or decrease. I want it kind of big because I want my name pretty big. If you notice, I've only used, I'm going to go to view, I'm going to change it smaller. I'm only going to use about half my page. If I really want to do up close work, I usually do 50%. So now I'm going to type my name, Paula. Now that looks pretty good, but maybe I want a different font. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight, go back to home, ready? Highlight, go back to home, and then I'm going to use the font, and I'm going to find some other kind of interesting font to use. Now, Miss Dabalski has all kinds of crazy fonts, but that's how she is. So remember, I highlighted, went to the fonts, and found a really cool one. And there's going to be some cool ones also on yours. Now, I can also put it in the center. This is the centering, or I can do it all left, align left, center, align right. I'm leaving the center. I can also change the color. Maybe I want a different color. So I have to go to the A. This is where you do all your fonts. I can go here, and maybe I want it to match. And there goes my phone. All right, Miss Dabalski had a phone call. That happens a lot in recordings. So now I've changed it. Okay, so I've changed the color, I changed the size. Oops, that's too small. Let's make it smaller. All right, so now I've made it. Now, the next thing you're going to learn is how to put in pictures. So now we want to do is go to Insert, and I can do Pictures. That's all I did. Now, this would go to my file, but I'm probably going to want to do pictures that I have already saved. All right. Now, in order to do that is I'm going to have to look for online pictures. So as you notice, I ran my cursor over here. So let's go back again. Say I want to insert. I want to put in something. So I go to Insert. I'm going to go to the pictures, but I'm going to go to this one. It has like a little globe on it. I'm going to click the globe, and then it has to load. So pretend I want to find Green Bay Packers. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to click on one and insert it. Okay, so for today, I will say that we can try it. Now, let's be very careful about what we're typing. If you need help spelling something, let's be careful. If you ever see a bad image, you need to let me know. If you like certain things, you need to ask me first, because we want to make sure that everything is safe. When I go to save this, I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to go to the computer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for your H drive, which is really your kid drive. And it should say grade 4, grade 4. All right. And then I'll show you how to save that later. But today, let's just practice just designing this. Maybe we won't save it today, but at least you have a practice. All right. All right. Have a good day.